Got the vehicle loaded up with gear and heading out on the road for one day of production. Definitely overpacked for this job since I didn't know what I'd be needing or walking into. The details going into this job were a little unclear, so I wanted to make sure I had my bases covered. Nice drive here down to a beautiful golf course location. I would have preferred to shoot early morning, but the call time wasn't until 11:30 a.m. Normally that'd be a concern due to shooting in the midday sun, but as you'll see, that ended up not being a problem. The shoot location was about a 2 to 2.5 hour drive away from my home, and actual shooting time for this job was only about an hour to an hour and a half, but I was able to negotiate a full day rate due to the travel time. I got this job through one of my agency connections who needed a small crew for the day. All I knew going into it was that it was a single talking head video and that it would be a two-man crew, myself as the DP and a sound tech. That's him driving our golf cart to our staging area. I've worked with him on quite a few jobs, and he's super easygoing, and we always have a lot of fun working together. This was shot for a large retailer that we're all familiar with, but due to NDA, I can't say who. I had a pre-production call with their in-house producer in the days leading up to this job. The producer was flying in for this shoot, and since they were unfamiliar with the area, they didn't have a whole lot of information to share about the location. So once we all arrived and met up, the client left it up to me as to where we would set up and frame our shot. The shoot was weather dependent, so we could have moved things indoors if we needed, but we were fortunate and ended up having a beautiful, clear day. Deliverable for this job was a video for internal use. I think it ended up being played at a large corporate party or event. I decided to set things up here so that the clubhouse would be in frame, as well as golfers coming and going and also practicing their swing. This helped add some visual interest to the background so that things didn't fall flat. Before I invested into the Sony system, I shot on Blackmagic cameras. So you can see the Frankenstein of a camera rig here. I'm shooting on the original Pocket 6K with the Canon 24-105. This was such a great combo for so many jobs, and since this one was outdoors, the lens only being an f4 wasn't an issue. With this setup, I would always use a variable ND from Simmod. You might be familiar with them for their cine adapters, focus rings, or mount conversions that they make. I'm not sure if they still sell the variable NDs. If I can find them, I'll link them down below, but I love them, and I have them in both 77mm and 82mm, and I actually still use them when I'm not shooting on the FX6. The talking head ended up being a puppeteer, which worked out in my favor. Since I didn't have to worry about skin tones blowing out, this made things super easy for me, as we just ended up shooting with natural light. I was prepared to cut the overhead, provide negative fill or bounce, but ended up not needing any of it. All in all, this was a lighthearted shoot, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of. The client was super easy to work with and loved how everything turned out. And after we wrapped, I provided a copy of all the footage. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.
clever humor there.